Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will rise to support the point of privilege that has been brought forward by my colleague in the Wildrose Caucus. And I think we are moving into new territory for you, Mr. Speaker, for all of us, in fact, because what I have witnessed here over the last several months is, I'm unsure if it's an act of commission or an act of omission, but it is definitely a coordinated, incremental implementation of a strategy to keep opposition members in the dark, to provide information to others, to other members of this House, to members of the media, to select stakeholders, but not provide that information to specifically opposition members in this House. So it's meant to leave opposition members in the dark, at a disadvantage, as we go into a media scrum. We have no idea that this has been announced, that people are aware of this, but not us. It leaves us at a disadvantage, and I would argue our privilege has been breached, dealing with media, with stakeholders, with constituency calls, even in question period, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, I acknowledge that there is a difference between information that is circulated inside of caucuses for caucus deliberation and decision. This is not that kind of information, and this particular instance is a very good example of what we have arrived at. Now, this was an announcement of additional money, important additional money that went into this budget, reinstating almost a third of the money that was taken away from universities. That has been a very large conversation, the subject of many questions, member statements, and debate in this House. So it's obviously an important subject. And in that context, Mr. Speaker, to withhold the information specifically from members of the opposition that $50 million had been added back into that is a breach of our privilege. I will point out to you, Mr. Speaker, that instead the situation has changed here, and it has been an incremental, coordinated program by the government's Public Affairs Bureau and their parliamentary secretaries, which are partisan and designed for producing a partisan spin on government activities. Now, instead of information coming to us, Mr. Speaker, as has been the long tradition, where media releases were sent to us, faxed to us or emailed to us, at the same time as they were made available to the media, to stakeholders, and to the public, that is no longer happening. We have had official faxes from the director in charge of this sort of thing telling us that opposition would no longer be receiving government press releases. Us specifically. They would be sent to the media, they could be sent to stakeholders, they would not be sent to members of the opposition. Sometimes we move into new territory, and I have never seen anything like this, Mr. Speaker, nor have I heard of it from any other assembly in the country, where the government is deliberately, consciously, strategically implementing a course of action that withholds public information and information necessary to do a good job as a member, deliberately withholding that information from members of a select group of people in here, and that group of people is members of the opposition. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with this.